FTX spokesman Kevin O'Leary says he lost his $15 million payday from crypto firm. You might be like, what do you mean his payday? Like, was he invested? Was it tranche? Like, what's going on? What's the deal with this 15 mil? Just to add a little bit more context to it, here you go. Kevin O'Leary says he lost almost $10 million in the FTX collapse and that the exchange had paid him $15 million to be a spokesman. So he lost almost 10 and he was paid 15. So if you do some quick math, he's still net ahead $5 million. And this is Mr. Wonderful himself. Fun fact. If you're watching this video right now in real time with me on December 8th, and maybe more so if you stalk my social media, you know that I interviewed him yesterday. I am trying to get the interview out this weekend. And what's crazy about it is this all happened today. So unfortunately, when I spoke with him yesterday, I wasn't given the opportunity to talk to him about the 15 mil because it was all recorded yesterday and all this news was breaking this morning. Talk about just like, I feel fortunate that I was even in the position, shout out to Benzinga for them helping me set up the interview with Kevin O'Leary. But man, even if I just one day later, the questions could have been so much more spicy. I watching it all back in my honest critiques of myself, I hit him with some good questions, but I wish I was just a bit more aggressive. And maybe I'm doing a little bit of hindsight bias because I see all this now and I'm like, oh man, these questions write themselves. Like obviously you're net ahead 5 mil. Are you giving it back? What's going on? All that good stuff. But it is what it is. The interview filmed yesterday. Ideally, it will be coming out on Saturday of this weekend. Stay posted for that. But yeah, the dude apparently paid a lot and allegedly has about just under 10 mil that he can no longer access on the FTX exchange. And you could hear it from him himself.
I want you to just sort of walk us through all of this because I think there's a lot of questions about what happened. I know that you lost money in the process of all this.
That would be an understatement.
But I want to understand how much money you lost in the context. But I also want to understand how the investment and this ambassadorship happened. At the time that it happened, you did disclose it. But I want to understand how you went from calling crypto garbage at one point, as you know, to deciding that this was something that you were going to stand behind.
Yes, I recall that conversation, calling it garbage, right here on this show in 2017. That was a time when a New York hotel was being tokenized here, and I was looking at that, and the regulator let me know they were not happy with that idea. And that's when I stepped away from this because clearly the regulatory environment was not prepared. Then facts changed. I saw the Canadians issue the first ETF with Bitcoin as underlying. Ethereum, then Switzerland opened up, then Australia opened up, and then I said, wait a second, world's changing, I got to be an investor. And that started my journey. I'm an investor in the largest regulated exchange in Canada called WonderFi. The wallets are called BitBuy. We're regulated by the OSC. I have my accounts up there. Right. But I felt that getting involved when I was approached with Sam Bankman-Fried, that I could get an inside seat on what was considered then, and I got to tell you, the institutional interest in FTX on the U.S. equity was unbelievable. The amount of people that approached me saying, how do I get a piece of this deal? And I said at that time, I am a paid spokesperson. I cannot bring you in as an LP. Not a single dollar that I lost is anybody else's money except mine. That's important for me because that's an issue.
How much were you paid?
Total deal was just under $15 million, all in, including a bunch of agents and that I had to pay because I needed SAG-AFTRA release to be able to do commercials for it. And when I did that, I put about $9.7 million into crypto. I think that's what I've lost. It's all at zero. I don't know because my account got scraped a couple of weeks ago. All the data, all the coins, everything. So. Then I lost the money I invested in the equity as well. Those are zeros too. It was not
he
a
lost
good
$1 million in
investment,
equity, so he's still ahead of $4 million.
Great investments all
He's
the time.
still
Luckily, I
net
make more good ones
positive
and
by
bad ones,
$4
but that was a
million.
bad one.
All right, he actually didn't stop there. So that was basically paid 15 mil, lost 9.7 in his crypto, lost 1 mil in the FTX investment. So he's still net ahead by this basic math about 4 mil.
No, it's true, but there are times when you might have a pretty good idea about whether someone
Joe,
is.
that's a tough analogy.
I'm not making it as an analogy. I'm saying there are times in the past where we know that's why if you're a defense attorney that represents someone that you know is guilty, you got to say, yeah, well, they're innocent, but you may know they're guilty. You may know they're guilty. If you watch someone kill someone, yeah, they're innocent until proven guilty.
There's only the murder of my money in this case. Okay?
it's murder of my money.
FTX's money, in my view.
Everybody's. Look, Joe, because
it was FTX's money that you got. I don't think you should be singing the blues right now at all.
Oh yes, I'm singing the blues.
Why? Because your $15 million didn't pan out. That's a lot of money to be a paid spokesperson. It's a lot of money. You didn't have to do much for that. That's found money.
That's a different decision. That's a different discussion.
Okay.
You can make that decision on your own. But I'm going to this point that if you want to say he's guilty before he's tried, I just don't understand it.
But it may end up costing you 15 for reputational and everything else. That's the problem.
That's why I stay on this pursuit.
Right.
I'm very transparent about it. I've disclosed everything I know about it. I will find out more information. If I make the credit committee, I will act as a fiduciary for everybody involved. I will testify. I am an advocate for this industry, and this changes nothing. Just look at the numbers that came out of Circle today. I'm an investor there, too. You've got I lost it all in FTX, and we have a fantastic print on Circle. The promise of crypto remains. This will not change it. And you'll be discussing this case for 2 years. It's not going to go away.
Please. 2 years, and then kind of interesting that he wants to represent the creditors, as in like the people who lost money, to fight with it. And this last part, you can kind of tell in the Benzinga Future of Crypto conference, he kind of was working on these lines. I heard this on the panel yesterday, but he spoke about it in his interview with me, and then he said it again here. And this is the part that I'm curious on all of your takes.
Here's what I don't understand. I mean, you're right. Everybody who we thought were savvy investors can look at this and say, we should have seen the signs. We should have known. I listened to the interview that Andrew did with him at DealBook, and I thought, that guy's a crook and a liar. You listened to it and said you'd invest money with him again if it turns out there's nothing criminally wrong here. What did you hear that I didn't hear?
The context of that is I have been known for decades to invest in entrepreneurs that have had catastrophic outcomes, bad ones, because they learn a lot from their mistakes. It may not fit for Sam Bankman-Fried because we don't know the outcome, what's going to occur.
Yeah, but all I can say is everything he said, I just didn't realize.
How wild is that? How wild is that he tweeted this? I lost millions as an investor in FTX and got sandblasted as a paid spokesperson for the firm. But after listening to that interview, I'm in the Bill Ackman camp about the kid. If you don't know what Bill Ackman said about it, who's a famed Wall Street guy, he said, this Sam Bankman-Fried character, I believe him. What do you mean you believe him? Just kind of an awkwardly bad look. And that's really what I was going with when I had the opportunity to speak with Kevin. I was like, hey, man, don't you understand that the populist movement right now is against it? It's more of an emotional thing that people got hurt. And then the final question I realized him, I was like, are you personally angry? Like, are you angry at Sam Bankman-Fried? And to that, he had some interesting answers.
Just didn't realize. You didn't realize there was an $8 billion hole. You didn't realize that there was like clients' funds that were being swapped over there. It's not his fault. Like that to me is like, man, that guy has bad news. That's not just you had bad luck. He was lying and manipulating.
You don't know because you have no data. All I'm saying is let's do the forensic audit. Let's do the forensic audit. Let's find out what happened. I owe everybody that follows me, as you said, Andrew, I owe them that information. I feel compelled to go get it. I am going to go get it. I'm lucky. I have resources to do it.
So the final part there, I kind of get that. In America, you are innocent until proven guilty. And I think right now, the public court is very much against Sam Bankman-Fried because it seems like even the evidence that is already publicly available seems to be pretty damning. But unfortunately, we are in a scenario where this will most likely play out over the next couple of years because justice moves slowly. But overall, I want your thoughts. What do you think about Mr. Wonderful, aka Kevin O'Leary, getting paid $15 million, losing $11 million, profiting at least $4 million, and kind of this concept of, if he isn't a fraud, I would invest in him again. Please let me know your thoughts.